Well, we've found that our probation departments are pitifully understaffed. They have casework, caseload sometimes 50 to 100 and over 100 in many areas, particularly cities this size. And when you get into a caseload of this size, in an area of this size, you might say you have no probation service at all.
Doctor, what did you learn in this operation that you might apply to future heart transplants?
I think the most important thing we learned was that the organization and the techniques that we've been working on and attempting to perfect and planning for this did work and are quite feasible, and next time it can go just that much smoother.
Do you plan future heart transplants here?
I'm sure now that we've started, they will continue.
How do you feel about this operation?
That one throws me.
As far as success goes?
Oh, at this point, this patient's condition looks quite good. He's shown steady improvement during the day, and at this point, we're very pleased with his condition.
I think if you look back at '66, I remember when they said that no one could beat us, you know, the first 4 or 5 games, but they found a way to do it the second half of the year. So we don't look quite as optimistically as we probably would have looked at this team if we hadn't have gone through '66 before. So we feel like that we're a fairly good team, but I don't think we've really proven that to ourselves yet.
Well, I know you said over the weekend after the Philadelphia game that you didn't feel that you had met a team yet that was at full strength, and the same holds true this weekend for St. Louis, I would assume.
Well, this is true. I don't think in the games that we played so far, especially the Detroit game and the Philadelphia game, where you had 2 quarterbacks missing. When you have a quarterback missing, you haven't got a team that's very strong. I think this week we're coming up against a club that's won the first game, and they're going to have a lot going for them. They're still undecided on their quarterback situation, and this tends to keep them from really gaining the momentum that they need to gain.
He asked for a utilization of business skills in 2 ways. First, in the typical realm of management of education, such as using business expertise in setting up a distribution and warehouse system for textbooks. But the significant venture into requesting businesses' help came in Estes' request for help in the substance of education. Here Nolan Estes made his point about vocational education. Estes asked the Dallas Chamber of Commerce to organize a task force on vocational opportunity and work to the establishment of a number of new programs, including student work study programs, industrial internships for instructors, and the utilization of some foremen and supervisors as teachers.
Manned spaceflight. Its thrust, over 1,500,000 pounds. First stage separation will occur approximately 2.5 minutes after liftoff, followed almost immediately by second stage ignition. About 17 seconds later, the launch escape tower will be jettisoned. Some 10 minutes after liftoff, full checkout of all vital systems will now begin. Spacecraft Commander Wally Schirra will be in the left couch position. To his right, Don Isley. To his right, will be initiated. The crew, again in their pressure suits,
14 ground stations, 4 ships, and 5 aircraft located around the world will...
The goal of a manned lunar landing within this decade.
Senator, there were 16 judicial nominations sent to the Senate by the President, and there has been no confirmation on them so far. Why is this?
Well, because ordinarily these nominations are supposed to sit for 7 days. They're supposed to lie for 7 days to give anybody that wants to an opportunity to raise any objection before the committee. Now, if the Senate stays in session for seven more days, there's a chance they could be confirmed, but if they adjourn before that time, they will not be confirmed. Well, I think that the Republicans will gain strength this year. I think we'll elect a number of new members of the state government and congressional members. I think we'll elect Paul Eggers governor. Nixon's going to carry the state, I think, by a very handy margin. So I expect this to be a good year for the Republicans in Texas.
Is this another Eisenhower year?
This will even be better than the Eisenhower year because I think we'll elect more Republicans down through the ticket than we did when Eisenhower was elected and again re-elected.
Yes, they are. Actually, it's a misconception to think that these men are not able to rush the way they've rushed for years for us. We've had injuries. Bob Lilly's had a bad bruise on his hip, and he's been slow. He's starting to come back. Pugh's been out. Willie Towns is now the worst of the lot. He's ailing some. So we've had some handicap up there. We're not getting a great front four pressure that we got last year, and this is affecting our pass defense somewhat, and I think it'll pick up as soon as they're all well.
Tonight the situation is normal here in downtown Dallas. Automobile traffic moderate, pedestrian traffic light. Tomorrow at this time the situation will be exactly reversed. Automobile traffic sparse, and you'll have trouble getting through the pedestrians. They'll be made up mostly of merrymakers and students from Texas and Oklahoma universities during the annual Texas OU weekend. Police, who arrested nearly 500 last year, mostly on charges of minors and possession of alcohol, are prepared for 500 more this year. The old county jail has been cleaned out and swept out. As for hotels, they're at half capacity tonight, but by tomorrow night they expect all those residents to have moved out, and they expect a complete capacity crowd of new residents by that time. As for what might happen here downtown, well, it's Texas OU weekend. This is Phil Reynolds, Channel 8 News in downtown Dallas.
Now, there has been some criticism on the secrecy of the ballot and also the fact that no information is being given out on what precincts they will be used in.
That's interesting. Of course, we were requested by the election board to have a final list in their hands by this morning. The final list is in their hands this morning, that too precisely on schedule as far as I'm concerned. Now, as to ballot secrecy, no election system that I have yet observed, and I've observed a number, is actually any safer in that respect than the people conducting the election.